Imitating others is a general character which we all have. All of us are like that. We like to imitate others, and it's such a joy to understand that there is somebody imitating us, somebody following what we do, and our practices are being accepted by others. It's something good. We feel good about that the moment we comes to know about this. In the Bible, we see a verse which Paul tells Timothy that you should set an example in your own life in 5 areas where others can follow you. We see that in First Timothy chapter 4 verse 12, where Paul is inspiring or challenging Timothy to be careful in all these 5 areas. There are 5 areas we see. We're going to see all those 5 areas one by one. And in the book of First Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1, Paul says, imitate me as I imitate Christ. Paul is quite confident that he is following Christ, and also he is urging others to follow him in that way which he is following Christ. It's such a challenge that we tell others, look at me and learn from me the way I follow Jesus. You can look at me, and in that way you can see my life and direct yourself to Christ. Generally we say, don't look at me, look at Jesus. That's what we say. But here Paul is so confident to tell his readers that imitate me as I imitate Christ. And the same thing he is asking Timothy also to do in the book of First Timothy chapter 4 verse 12. There are 5 areas mentioned here. We'll see one by one. First thing is in your words, in your speeches, in everything that comes from your mouth. You should be an example for others to follow. Word or speech, both same meaning only. Now, it's a challenge for us. We have to speak in such a way that others would be encouraged with our words. Others would be able to imitate us. Others would be able to say good about the way we speak to them. Speaking to others, speaking in a public space, or speaking in the social media, speaking to our parents, speaking to our teachers, it's all it's actually challenging. We have to set an example for others to follow us. The same idea we can see in Matthew chapter 12 verse 34 to 37, and also in the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 25 as well. Second area where Paul is inspiring Timothy to set an example before others is in the matter of conduct, which we say. Or in other words, we can see a righteous living, a blameless life in our lifestyle. There are many eyes falling on us in our private life as well as in the public life. We sometimes think this is private space, nobody's going to watch us. But there are eyes in a modern world, especially where there's so many CC cameras are there. People are there watching over us, looking at what we are doing, looking at how we conduct ourselves. Our lifestyle should imitate Christ. Others should be able to imitate our lifestyle even as we follow Christ. Same thing we see in Titus chapter 2 verse 10, and also in 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 15. Third area where we have to set an example before others is in the matter of love. Sacrificial love. Loving is easy, but sacrificial love. We share what we have. Every good things we have, we share with others. Our knowledge we share with others. Our properties we share with others. Our assets we share with others. Our money we share with others. Especially time we spend with others. That's called sacrificial love. There are so many terms used in the Bible to denote love, but the most important thing is that we should be willing to spend our time and our properties which we have in our name, share it out of love. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus is urging his disciples to set themselves having an example where you pray for your enemies, love your enemies, bless them, give them, take care of them, and spend your time sacrificially to see that they are also blessed. So sacrificial living or sacrificial love is not something easy. It has its own difficulties, but at the same time we are supposed to set an example in our life by loving others in a sacrificial way. Fourth thing we see is faithfulness or commitment. We should be faithful in our personal life, in our public life, in the office, in the college, in the public space wherever we are. Faithfulness and commitment to what is being assigned to us. Sometimes we are assigned with some responsibilities, and in all the responsibilities assigned to us, either by a master, worldly master, or anybody, we have to show 100% commitment. If you're a person who is working for something, some company, some factory, you should be able to commit yourself, be faithful in the work that is entrusted on you. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 2 also speaks the same thing. Finally, the fifth area where we have to set an example is in the matter of purity. Especially it speaks about sexual purity in our attitude, in our look. And of course, we have to remember one thing, even when we are not talking, we are communicating with our eyes, with our face, with our actions, hands, legs, and movements, and face and smile. With everything, we are communicating. In all our communications, let there be purity in our communication, in our dealings, in our giving, in our receiving, in everything. Let there be purity. These are the 5 areas Paul is inspiring Timothy to set an example so that others can follow him. We all like when others follow us, but are we setting an example for others to follow us? If we are able to set an example in all those 5 areas, we will see many people following us. In a modern world, how many people follow you is what it matters. People may follow you because of your talents. People may follow you because of the posh lifestyle which you have, but there are other people who are not having money, or not having any talents or any abilities, not well known, not popular, no celebrity, but you can also make yourself available for other people to follow you if you are able to set an example in all these 5 areas. May God bless you. Thank you for listening.